All right, welcome to Social 5 University. This is Jeremiah Stetler, Chief Content Officer at Social 5. Today we'll be talking about contesting, and more particularly going under the hood with the Final Four contest, sharing some of the analytics that we were able to draw from the participants in this, which was our first scalable contest, you might say, a contest where you didn't have to pay $1,200 or $1,500 a month to be part of the contest, a contest where you didn't have to pay for a $1,000 prize for the contest. This was an experiment, you may say, that turned out to be very, very successful. I think you'll be surprised as we go through some of the analytics that we'll share exclusively with you here today, and then give you a sneak peek at the contest that's coming up for next week. As with our other webinars, if you do have a question, please make sure to put those in the questions box on the right-hand side of your screen, that dashboard. We will also be able to be providing you with a video recording after the fact. Okay. Did receive a question that came in of, will there be an email provided that recaps the results of this Final Four campaign? There will be if you participated in the campaign, or if you are a Social 5 licensee, that will be an option for you. Otherwise, the video will be made available on YouTube through Social 5 University that you can access. All right, so jumping in today, let's talk about just a few things that we'll be going over today. A number of the topics, contesting principles. I do want to make sure every time we go under the hood with a contest like this, that we help you understand what makes a successful contest. Things that we can remember, even if you're not part of Social 5, things that will help you build your engagement going forward. We'll go over the Final Four overview and analytics. We'll look at a preview of the upcoming Disneyland giveaway. Then talk about the makings of what is a successful contest. And these will be some great recommendations because they come from observations that we made of customers in the last contest, and we were able to combine those with what their analytical performance was. Okay. So first, let's jump into contesting principles. And really, there are three things that we try to take into account. That first of all, there's no mystery here that people simply love to win. They love to get free stuff on social media. So if you can build a contest that provides someone with an opportunity to get something for free, whether it's an experience or a product, that's going to help you build your audience. Next one is make sure that the prize is inclusive rather than exclusive. People probably aren't hip on winning a business owner policy, for free, or maybe not be hip on, winning an electric toothbrush. We want to have prizes that many people want to participate in, whether it is tickets to an amusement park, whether it's a dinner and a movie, something that many people can enjoy regardless of their interests. Okay, so look for inclusive rather than exclusive prizes. Next is experience-related prizes always win over product. So think about this for a moment. Dinner and a movie has a bigger perceived value, you might say, than something like I'm just trying to think here. We had a customer that provides free consultations for parents with autism. With children with autism. Thank you. So in that case, that's a high dollar prize. Okay, that to have that sort of consultation, but the perceived value is lower than something that is a dinner and a movie, because a dinner and a movie could have an experience, a memory that goes along with that. So think about that when you're coming up with your prizing. All right, so let me give you a brief overview of the Final Four contest. Those of you who did participate are very aware of what this looks like. This contest launched on February 2nd, giving people the opportunity to give away a prize package for the Final Four championship in Indianapolis. As part of that, they received an app on Facebook, and you'll see that here on the left-hand side. They received content on their pages each week promoting the contest. And then they also had the opportunity to participate in a low dollar advertising campaign in their geographic market. Okay, so those were the basic components of the contest. And of course, there are lots of other little things. I always like to emphasize the rules and regulations. The legal reviews and approvals that go into a contest can be super cost prohibitive for companies. And companies that don't do it run the risk of getting themselves in some hot water with with regulators. So running a legally responsible contest is super valuable, and we handle that for you. So let's look a little bit about what happened. Obviously, there was a winner. We picked a winner here at the end of March. It was Ryland Barney was the winner of the contest. He sent us this photo before he took advantage of that. He's out of St. George, I believe, in Utah. But we did announce a winner and sent out the photo of this gentleman on everyone's Facebook pages of those who participate. Now, take a look at how we phrased the tease there. It says, "Congratulations to Ryland Barney, the winner of the Final Four contest. Check out his reaction. Quote, I was shocked to get the news I had won these tickets. Now I know that it's real. I'm way excited to accept this prize. I mean, who really wins things like this? You did, Ryland, and now you're going dancing in Indianapolis. Enjoy the games." So take a look at how this was phrased, and great job to our managing editor over promotions, Derek Jensen, for crafting this. That it, number one, doesn't reference a specific geography or a specific business, because we want the giveaway to appear as if it's coming from whatever page or whatever client is participating. Okay, it's a socialized type of contesting that allows us to run a contest without every business having to pay $1,000 for a Final Four championship tickets. Okay, all right. So take a look at what these analytics were that came about. On the first one, and there are a number of things that we're going to talk about here with the analytics, is viewership is probably one of the big factors when we're looking at how successful a contest was. So in this case, during the contest, the average customer, so we took all of the participants and averaged them together, the lows and highs. Final Four participants receive an average of 45,000 views on their page during the contest, which represented this. Now take a look at the percentage. An 1,841% increase in traffic than 2 months prior to the contest. Okay, we took 2 months prior, 2 months during. So 1,800% increase. Now, we also saw an increase in the number of unique individuals who visit those pages. That means if I went to your page 17 times, I would be counted as one person. Okay, we want to count the number of individuals that went to those pages, and that number increased by 2,900%, so 2,921%, which suggests that there was a broad distribution of content to people outside their typical Facebook or social media audience. So great results there. Next one is advertising. Final Four participants who invested in paid advertising received 77 times more traffic per month than those who did not. So you'll see the numbers here that those with advertising had an average of 63,000 views during the contest, compared to 889 for people who did not participate in the contest. So really a interesting lesson of if you're going to leverage a contest, make sure to invest appropriately in getting the message out, that people do hear that there is a Final Four contest, or there's a Disneyland contest, so that they can participate. I had a question that came through of, does this include the participants who paid for the advertising package? Yes. So these are the folks that they didn't invest, $800 or $1,000 in advertising. These are the folks who participated in the low dollar advertising spend of, I think it was $149 or $169 that was part of this contest. So not a huge spend by advertising, but that's exactly what those are. So thank you, Mary. Next one is engagement. So the number of people, engaged users, these are Facebook users who liked, clicked, commented, or shared a post on that page during the contest. This is an important one because engagement really separates social media advertising from a billboard or newspaper or television, where it really is a one-sided conversation. Social media is meant to be more of a two-sided conversation. So engaged users went up by 141% per account on average. That means there was an average of about 358 people during the contest who engaged with each account. Okay, so really a cool increase to see of what it can do for engagement on the pages. Okay, and then the last one is something called stories. Stories, if you jump into the analytics that you have on Facebook, this can be a head scratcher. Like, what in the world is that? Okay, but the stories really represents anytime somebody interacts on your page or shares a post, they create a post on their own page, or there is a post generated by Facebook on their own pages indicating they've taken activity by liking, clicking, commenting, or sharing a post, or they may take your content and send it out to their friends in some other way. Okay, but this indicates posts that were created about a customer's brand during the contest. So, and we saw about 213 of these on average per account, which was an increase of 32%. So really the message being that having a contest on your account will do a number of things. One is the biggest impact is it drives traffic. So if you're trying to bring people to your page, then a contest will help, especially when paired with advertising. It builds the amount of engagement that people are having with your page during that contest, and it will create some brand exposure as people interact with posts being created about your brand out there on Facebook. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of an overview of the Disneyland contest that hasn't been made public yet. It's actually coming out first part of next week. So in much the same fashion as Final Four, we'll be giving away a 2-day Disneyland adventure that includes park hopper tickets for a family of 4. Okay, this contest will run much like Final Four, that goes out on your page and has every appearance of being your own contest. The purpose is to drive engagement to your, or drive traffic to your page, to build engagement, to generate fans, and then also to generate email addresses. Anytime someone enters the contest, they leave their email address so they can be a lead that you can use for marketing purposes going forward. Okay, so a few things that goes into it. It runs from now until June 15th. It's $129 per Facebook page. The contest includes all of those elements of a Facebook sweepstakes app, promotional content once a week, data collection, the legal oversight, prize fulfillment, and it also includes the park hopper tickets for a family of 4 to Disneyland, which obviously is a bit pricey, or we'd go to Disneyland a lot more often. So there is a discounted advertising that is available for promoting the contest. And again, this doesn't have to, it's not a lot of advertising. You can put more into it if you would like to. But it is a way that you can expand the reach of your content. Now, I did have a question that came in. With the email addresses that were gathered during the last contest, where in the world did they go? Okay, and there's 2 places they go. One of those is when someone enters the contest, that email address will be sent to you by email. And if it wasn't during this last contest, it will be this time. Okay, we did make a technological change partway through to make that possible. Okay, but the more important thing is our team has already uploaded those email addresses into your email marketing engine through Social 5 if you have a Social 5 account. Okay, so they will already be added for lead generation, lead cultivation purposes. Okay. So really good question. Thank you. All right, and then lastly, this is a contest that's available in the U.S. only, excluding Rhode Island. Okay. Now, I did have questions from some of you during the last contest of what happens if I do business in Rhode Island, but happen to have customers outside Rhode Island? And unfortunately, we need to, if your business is headquartered in Rhode Island, you do fall under those legal restrictions of Rhode Island. We need to have you pass on that. But it's available to any business outside of, in the U.S., outside of Rhode Island. All right. One question that came in is just about the cost of the contest. So it is $129 per Facebook page for the contest itself. If you want to do additional advertising here, that's $169. So really all in is $298 for the whole contest over that 8-week period. Okay. So let me show you a little bit about some of the elements here. Here is the app that plays out on your Facebook page. Okay, so you'll see that we have some of the graphics there on the app to make them look professional. Also went through some acrobatics to make sure you have all the copyright protections you need when working with the happiest place on earth, who has a very happy legal team as well. Professional graphics. Data collection down at the bottom of the form here. You'll see a tiny button if you have amazing vision. That's a lot better than mine. You'll see a rules and regulation button down here on the bottom where we will include all of the terms and conditions that are required to make this a good, legitimate, safe contest for any business. Okay. Now what you'll see down here is a Disneyland getaway. Okay, so this is an app that will appear on your Facebook page where people can click on that to go directly to your app. Okay, so now this isn't the way that most people get there. Most people will find your app through the content that goes out to your page, and that content will look something like this. Okay, so every week there would be content that goes out to your page that promotes the contest. Okay, tries to get people excited. Take a look at how these are phrased. Take your family to Disneyland on us. Disneyland awaits. Win a Disneyland park hopper package. Trying to build the excitement. All of that will include customized links for whatever customer happens to be on the system. And then there is the advertising package, and this is it is an optional optional item for the contest. I would highly, highly recommend it based on the impact that you saw from the Final Four contest. This can be just a great benefit or boon to your business. Here is a look at some of those advertisements that go out with the $169 that per page. You'll reach an estimated 10,000 people. And likely more, through this advertising. We do it through targeting in your geography. We'll also do a little bit of boosting on your page, which will be a new offering that wasn't there last time. Okay, so point is, we just really want to make this work. Get outside your existing audience. Question: will this work on other devices as well? Great question. Thank you. One of the questions we received frequently during the Final Four contest is, how do you access this contest on a mobile device? Okay, it was accessible on a desktop. It could be viewed through a tablet, but a smartphone was really difficult, and partly because Facebook remains a little bit in the Stone Age when it comes to allowing third-party apps to be visible and accessible on mobile devices like a smartphone. So the answer is yes. We are working on some additional code that we'll add to those links that would make them compatible with a smartphone. So thank you so much on that one. One point that just was brought to my attention here is the advertising that we run will actually run on the mobile device as well. So you can target people on tablet, on desktop, on mobile through the advertising component. So thank you so much. Moving in, rules and regulations, and I can't emphasize this enough. Maybe because I've seen contests done wrong too many times, but there's so many little restrictions that you need to be aware of. If you're in New York or Florida, thank heavens you have the rules and regulations that we posted on this page, because they're sticklers on some of these things about the amount of prizes that can be given and how you give those prizes. Rhode Island's the biggest stickler of them all, but there are different rules that you find nationwide for these contests. You need to find or strike the right balance to make it nationwide. And I know that a number of you on this call today are running national businesses, okay? And in that case, if you're focusing on multiple states, you do need to have some legal work just to make sure that the contests are valid, legitimate on your behalf. And that's footwork that we've done through this contest on your behalf. So now this is that golden nugget that I like to bring up in any of our webinars, of something that I hope you go away with, that even if you never do business with Social 5, even if you just want to do all of this on your own, here are some observations or things that will help you be more successful going forward. And these are based on observations from real-time experience with the Final Four contest of what made people super successful and what made people not so successful. Okay, so the first thing we saw is people that publicized it did better than people who did not. So the most important thing is to let people know there is a contest. Even if you're giving away, free tickets on the Mars, spaceship, I don't know if that would be an exclusive or an inclusive prize, but no matter how big and amazing your prize is, it's not big and amazing unless you tell people about it. Now, we will help people know about that contest through advertising, but tell your family, your friends, your employees. If you have customers, like let's say you do some B2B business, let those businesses know that they can tell all their employees that because they're a preferred customer of XYZ, they now get entered into a Disneyland contest. Great way to get the message out, win some great brownie points, you may say, from your customers. Put your email contacts to use. So if you participated in the last Social 5 University webinar on email marketing strategies, we talked about ways that you can get email addresses through Gmail and Yahoo and LinkedIn, places where you can now use those email addresses to send the contest out to many people instead of just the few that are in your network. Okay, so if you have those email addresses, please reach out to us. You can reach out to Derek Jensen specifically, or Kate Drake, who had her contact information in the last Social 5 University webinar, which we'll be posting the recording of here early next week. Okay. Next is invest in advertising. You notice the analytics that the average person that did advertise had 63,000 people visit their page compared to those who did not, who had about 890 people visit their page during the contest. Okay, so, and it looks like I have the number wrong right down the bottom. It's not 10x the traffic, it's 77x or whatever that number was. So invest in advertising. That's always valuable to get the amount out. Oh, and I just had Mary bring up that I tend to mention food way too much. Brownies, carrot cake, donuts. I must be doing these too close to lunchtime because I have food on the brain. So thanks, Mary. Appreciate that. And then the last one is encourage people to share. The average person has 338 friends on Facebook. So encourage your family, friends, employees to share the contest. If you have 10 employees and can get those 10 employees to share your contesting posts out on their page one time, you have the potential then of reaching more than 3,000 people who are not part of your existing network. Okay, that tends to be a really great way to increase your reach. All right, so with that, let me open it up and see if you have any questions here. Again, this was meant to be a little bit of an analytical overview for those of you who are more socially savvy, more in kind of that advanced Facebook user world. Also to give you a preview of the contests to come that will be made publicly available here in just a few days. But if you have any questions on any social media questions, regardless if it may fall into a beginner or advanced realm, feel free to bring those up. I just had one comment that was made here in the comments. It says that contesting really can provide a non-intrusive way to bring up your social media channels, okay, to make a connection. And that's absolutely true, because you're coming at them not to sell a product or sell a service. You're coming to give them something, give them an opportunity to have an amazing experience. You can bet that Rylan, the guy who won the Final Four contest, you can bet that he now is going to be telling people that he won Final Four tickets from this business. Or you can guarantee that there are going to be people that enter the contest, like, my wife will enter a contest and she'll say, "Hey, Jeremiah, you got to get up here and put this in on your Facebook page as well." There's going to be some talk or chatter about your brand that will help you going forward. All right. Question that came through is the contest part of a subscription, or is it part of an additional price? And good question. We've actually talked a lot about that at Social 5. Right now, it's not part of any subscription. It's something that you buy in addition. You just pay a one-time fee of the $298. It's one time. It covers the whole contest, and it's in addition to whatever you're currently doing. Okay. There will be options coming out within the next month or two to incorporate this into your package. There still will be an additional fee, because obviously the prizes get a little bit pricey over a year's time, where we look at close to $4,000 in prizing. And so there is an additional charge that can come through that. But the one thing we've heard from people is rather than running the risk of missing out on future contests, just subscribing for a year and putting some additional dollars into advertising to really promote their brand. And this is particularly true in industries that we would consider, I guess we call them negative industries. Negative industries really refer to a industry that someone buys product in or buys a service in because they have to. It's not because they have discretionary money and they're like, you know what, I want to go buy a Slurpee, or I want to buy a new car, for those of us who actually have the money to do that, or I want to buy brownies, right? That's kind of discretionary. Those are positive enterprises. Negative ones are kind of like an insurance policy. You need to have insurance on your car, on your home. It may be if you are in the maybe financial planning, or something where people would need to come to you rather than want to come to you. This gives you an opportunity to engage with them in a very positive way that will help you with lead generation going forward. How do we see specific results for a client that participated in the contest? Really good question. Now, every person who participated in the contest, if they haven't received it already, will be receiving a 5-page report detailing how they did on the analytics and how the group did, with some recommendations on things that they could do better next time. Okay, so that has been going out this week. Now, obviously, running analytics takes some time, so were not all sent out at one time. So if you haven't received them already, they will be coming. For those of you who are part of who are a licensee or franchisee with Social 5 and are joining this call, those analytics can be made available to you. And you simply need to email us, and I would actually have you email our Director of Analytics and Research, Ben Hart. His email address is super easy. Ben, B-E-N, at social5.com. So Ben at social5.com, and he can provide you with the reports for whatever specified customer you have. How many times can one person enter? Really, they can. I'm trying to remember what it is on the app of how many times we say. If it's once a day or whatever it may be, but they can enter multiple times. I may need, and that is one question where I don't have a concrete answer, but I do know that you can enter multiple times. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's anything else here. If you have additional questions, what do you do? Where can you turn? So you can always respond to Social 5 University if you'd like at Social 5 University at social5.com. And I'm trying to remember, it might be S5U at. This isn't helping at all, is it? I'm sorry. I'm going to give you my personal email address. It's Jeremiah, Jeremiah, at social5.com. You can certainly email me for questions. Or you can respond back to the email that contained the invitation to this webinar today, and that will go to Social 5 University, where a member of our team will be able to respond to those questions. Okay. Looks like I did. Our contesting gurus are actually on the line with us. Indicated that in the contest, you can enter one time per email address. So if you enter multiple times, those additional entries will not go towards your towards that random drawing. Okay, so it's one time per email address. Okay. Good. Oh, and thank you. Actually had a gentleman who's on the call today point out that to find resources on any social media information, including what we're talking about today, you can always go to our Social 5 University webpage at s5u.social5.net. You'll also see a little email icon up in the upper right-hand corner that will allow you to send an email directly to us. So, Mike, thanks a bunch for being my co-pilot on that one. All right, with that, we will wrap up this webinar. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you for being engaged in learning how to become more socially savvy on your pages and turn this into a strong business building tool. All right, with that, have a wonderful day.